I put like eye cream on in the morning because my eyelids are dry. So I'm like, I need to blink.
I need to blink.
I need to blink smoothly, not dryly. Oh, we're recording. We are here, episode number 5. That is a full hand of fingers for the Pioneers Careers podcast. Heck yeah.
Yeah, let's cheers to it. Dunkin' versus Starbucks. Dunkin' Friday. Ting. It's unbeatable.
It's unbeatable.
Dunkin' Friday.
It's Friday. It's October. It is Friday the 13th. However, when we release this, it will not be Friday the 13th. But when we are recording it, it is Friday the 13th. So make sure you do not walk under any ladders. If you see a black cat, run away. Do not step on any cracks because you do not want to break your mother's back.
My birthday was on Friday the 13th a couple years ago. Like
No.
4 years ago. I'm born on the 13th, so I do have Friday the 13th birthdays. I think it was freshman year of
So
college.
unlucky.
Yeah,
So-
the power went out that day in my dorm.
on
I
Friday the
remember it,
13th?
Yeah.
Well, dang. Well, this week there's a lot going on because Friday the 13th, right? I'm wearing this lovely shirt. It says, "Be kind to your mind." And on October 10th, it was World Mental Health Day. And then October 11th was National Coming Out Day. So let's all spread awareness for all of that. And heck yeah.
Heck yeah.
Or how's your week going? How's your week going? I know it's been busy for you.
It's been busy. Monday and Tuesday. They were good days. It's just I was going obviously nonstop as usual. But I interviewed David Newell from Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
I saw.
That was amazing. He's so sweet, so pure. It was just like a wonderful interview.
I know. I saw your Instagram post and I was like, let me hit that heart and let me love that.
Yeah, he's so cute. And then Tuesday, I moderated the honors panel, the storytelling panel.
I saw that too.
Which was awesome as well. And now I'm just dealing with some little injuries for track, but I'll be back and better than ever. Don't worry.
Comeback is always greater than the setback, right?
Exactly.
Oh
How
my
about
gosh,
you?
we
How
love
was your
that.
week?
It's been busy. This semester has just been busy, but October has been very kind to me. It is my birthday month, as we've been kind of speaking about.
The birthday month.
And when this episode is recorded, will be like a week or less than a week until my official birthday.
Yay! That's so exciting.
Hashtag 30.
Oh my gosh.
I'm
you
feeling-
don't look 30.
You're too kind. Be kind to my mind.
Be kind to the mind.
I think 30 is creeping up on me because the other day I was walking, I was literally just walking, and I like turned a certain way and my back like cramped up.
It's okay. I cramp up literally now and I'm not even 22 yet.
I cramped up. I'd like turned a certain way and it just like spazzed a little bit, like when you get muscle spasms. I was like, I'm not even 30 yet. This is 30. Heck yeah.
That's the beauty of aging.
Is that the phrase today for today's episode? Heck yeah.
I think it's your phrase.
It is my
I'll
phrase.
just say heck yeah too.
You'll just follow suit.
Yeah.
Well, are we ready for today's episode?
I think we're ready for today's episode. What is the topic?
So, since October is LGBTQ History Month, and since National Coming Out Day is in October, is October 11th, as we mentioned earlier, we thought to bring careers and LGBTQ individuals in the community together, we'll be talking about LGBTQ in the workplace and some considerations to be thinking of.
That sounds like an amazing plan.
Well, we have a treat for you today, guys, Starbucks, as well as Ana Bellamy as our special guest today.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to roll in, but it was so slow.
I know. It's the carpet. It's thick. And it's just like, they're just like, no, no, no.
Yeah, it wasn't it. It wasn't it.
No. But we are so excited to have you on today.
Thanks.
Would you want to tell us and our listeners who you are and something special about you?
Sure. Something special, just one special thing.
Anything
Whatever you
special. You can do
want.
multiple special things, honey.
Okay. All right. My name is Ana Bellamy. My pronouns are they, them. I'm a history major. I'm a senior this year. I plan on getting my master's in library science at University of Pittsburgh next year, or go into school next year again. And I want to work in archives and museums.
Nice.
I'm the treasurer for GSSA. Yep, I said that right. And I'm also a staff writer and co-editor of features in A&E for the Globe. And I'm a DJ for WPPJ and the Rockathon coordinator. There it is. There's the word.
Words are hard. Words are hard.
And let's see, special things. I like making collages.
Mhm.
I like going to concerts.
Mood.
And I can
Mood. It's mood.
and I can play the bass.
Really? That's something interesting I didn't know about you.
I love it. I love it. I've been doing
Yes.
it for like years now.
Love that.
Yeah.
So can you kind of tell me what GSSA stands for and like what you guys do?
Yeah, so the gender let me get my words together. GSSA stands for the Gender Sexuality Spectrum Alliance, and we host events for people who lie on the spectrum. And we just host fun events. We host educational events. Every week we have meetings where the meetings are more educational sometimes, and then the other times the meetings are just socials. But we just want to have like a space where students can go where they feel safe and accepted and all that fun stuff.
That's amazing.
So, yeah.
So you mentioned the spectrum a little bit. Can you describe that a little bit for our listeners who might not be aware of what that means?
Oh, okay. So the spectrum is like gathers all of the sexuality spectrum. So gay, lesbian, pansexual. There's also like the gender spectrum, which is like transgender, non-binary, gender non-fluid, gender non-conforming, all that fun stuff.
So I know today we're talking about LGBTQ in the workplace, maybe some considerations to think of. Do you might want to talk about some microaggressions LGBTQ individuals might face in the workplace, or maybe something to be mindful of?
Yeah, so some microaggressions is just like small things that people can say or do towards people that exist in the community that may or may not be out in the workplace, but they're just like little things, like little sayings, like I don't know, like who's the man in the relationship, and
yeah, I'm
you
trying to
give me like think of examples.
Yeah, I get what you mean. Like, yeah, who's the man in a relationship? Who wears the pants in a relationship?
Yes.
Type of a thing.
Yeah,
kind of a thing.
and they're very gendered and all about those stereotypes. And the people, like the workers who are on the spectrum that hear these, they like don't know like what to do or what to say in combat to hearing these. So most of the time we just ignore it, sadly, because it'll out ourselves. And even if we are out in the workplace, then we just don't want to deal with it because then it'll lead to more problems with that person.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was going to ask you, is there a certain process that you kind of do, like if something happens to you, or that everyone kind of agrees that they take steps to do, or is it just kind of like you just ignore it?
It really depends on the person. You can ignore it. You can talk to your friends. You can talk to that person individually if you are open to open to talking to that person, because some people aren't open. Like you cannot just there are some people that you just can't get through.
Yeah.
You can go to HR and be like, look, I'm having problems with this person. Is there any way I can resolve this? And unfortunately, HR can be like, we'll talk to them, but it doesn't get absolved. So like, it just really depends on the situation.
And here at Point Park, if you're a student, I mean, it doesn't necessarily tie to careers or workplace, but it could. If you're a work study student, maybe an internship or something like that. Here at Point Park, we have Title IX. So you could always talk to the Title IX office and see if there are ways that they could help you. So keep that in mind, that there are resources here at Point Park that could help you. There's Title IX and just a bunch of different faculty and staff who are certified in Safe Zone training. So something to keep in mind, folks. That's something that I think Point Park does a great job of, is they used to have the Safe Zone trainings for faculty and staff. And we want students to feel heard, feel safe, because it's a safe space. We want them to feel like they do belong and not feel like they have to hide themselves a bit. Because I don't know if you've experienced this, but if once you enter like a new atmosphere or environment kind of a thing, it's kind of like, okay, what am I getting myself into? You kind of have to be mindful of that. Like, what kind of space am I stepping myself into if it's very unknown? And it's kind of like, I know National Coming Out Day was just on October 11th, but it's kind of like coming out all over again.
Oh, yeah.
And coming out can be scary. It can be intimidating, but can also be freeing in whatever atmosphere or kind of experience that is for an individual.
Yeah. And it can be it can be real scary from the start if you do not see that representation of the LGBT community in your workplace, even on the first day. Even if it's not even on your first day, like if you don't see like pronouns in the signature, or you don't see any like diversity or inclusion office on the website or anything related to that, it can be real scary because you don't really know what you're getting into. And sometimes you can't even trust what the corporation is saying on like social media and stuff versus like the office you're going to work into, because it just depends on the people that work there.
Have you went through like any trainings or maybe in an internship that you've done, or an employer that you might have worked for? Do you know of any maybe trainings for diversity that you might have seen or heard about?
No, not that.
So you're
No.
saying companies could do a better job?
Yeah, companies can do a better job.
What would you, I actually have a question. So if you could implement, like what certain steps would you implement in a company? Like what would you
I like that.
what would you do?
What would I do?
Mm-hmm.
So like those companies can have those trainings. Well, I'll talk to the diversity people. If they don't have it, I'll talk to HR. Be like, look, listen, we need mandatory trainings that need to happen every every year for everyone, not just new staff, but every year, just to keep them updated on like the terms or the pronouns or the different spectrums or just anything related to LGBT. I don't know, like energy. What's it called? Like energy or energy is not the word for it.
No, I think that's you're on the right path. But my brain, it's Friday, it's the end of the week, so it's like gone.
Yeah,
Words are
anything,
hard.
anything that's like against homophobia or anti-racism trainings or like all that stuff needs to happen at least once a year.
And it should be required.
Yeah.
It shouldn't
It
be
should be.
optional. It should be required as a place of employment.
Yeah.
Do they make it optional at places? Is it optional?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's something that like
Yeah.
making that mandatory would be really good, because I mean some people might just be on different paths of like where they're educated at. So I think that'd be a good idea, making
Yeah.
it mandatory for everyone.
And I think making it optional gives that implication that LGBT individuals, how do I want to word this? That they're below kind of a thing. Like it's not as important.
Yeah.
When it should be put as important and on the same level as all the other trainings. Because
Yeah.
it's just as important.
It is.
It's all necessary.
Yeah. It's
in
basic human rights to just respect
part.
another person.
that part right
And without that training, where else are they people are going to get the education from it
Exactly.
if they're not going to be, sat down with videos and
Yep.
people explaining? And what about group trainings? Like, obviously you can't force anyone to do that, but what if a company could gather everyone, like each department, gather everyone for maybe like a 30-minute presentation and educate that way, instead of doing it on your own?
I've been part of those before, especially at my internship a few years ago. It was pre-COVID. Crazy to think about pre-COVID times.
I know, it's such a different world.
But I was part of the a presentation about LGBT individuals and the community and all this stuff. And I learned so much. And even though I'm part of the community, there's information that you can learn because everything is ever changing. It's evolving. So I think we as humans should be wanting to learn more and not really limit ourselves to just this little confined box. Like you should be wanting to learn about other people, other experiences, other communities, because I feel like that's how we grow as humans.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I love those trainings.
Yeah.
Because they're like, you get to learn with everyone else and hear what what ideas they have and what they want to change. So yeah, those are beneficial.
Something you mentioned earlier, we mentioned pronouns, right? If you don't know, International Pronoun Day is October 18th.
Ooh,
so many things happening in October. So I kind of want to talk about pronouns a little bit because we kind of mentioned it on our last episode, the pronoun movement, and they kind of expanded a little bit more beyond my knowledge, and probably beyond Natalia's knowledge as well. Would you mind sharing with us maybe some new pronouns that might have, been discovered and that are being used, I guess, more widely today?
Yeah, sure. So I don't know if I said this, but I do use they, them pronouns.
Yes.
And I do forget about that in my introduction a lot because I'm just used to
You did
saying
say it.
Yep.
Did I say
Yep.
it? Oh, I love when I say it and I don't think about
Yes.
it. Anyways.
You just made it part of it.
Yeah. Anyways, there's pronouns and there's neopronouns, and luckily they, them is considered a normal pronoun because it's widely used more and more. So normal pronouns are he, she, and they. And you just use them like normally, just like normal pronouns, you know. And then there's other ones called neopronouns. And those are like, where's my little thing? Those are like Z, zir, zirs, or Z, zir, zirs. And Z has like the letter Z. And then the one before is like X, I, ER.
But they're pronounced the same, right?
Yeah, they're like pronounced the same. It's
Okay.
just like how, like, it depends on the person. And then there's more like fae, fairs for like people who like identify with the fairy community,
Okay.
which is, it's really interesting. Like that part of the community is really interesting. And then there's like A, like AE, and then A airs. And then there's like E, which is like EE airs. Yeah.
There's so many.
There are
Oh
so
my gosh,
many.
I didn't even know this.
It's like
I didn't either.
the list goes on and on and on, but
Wow.
it really like allows for a person to have more individual control over what they want to be referred to as. So that's what neopronouns is, just like the new pronouns.
Wow.
So like
everyone
agency
can
and
use.
autonomy, pretty much, right? Kind of just giving them their own voice, and
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah,
awesome.
like how like a person can choose a new name for themselves. They can just choose their new pronouns. So yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
You're
That's
welcome.
awesome to
You're
know.
welcome. Yeah, I get a lot of my like education on the LGBT community from the Human Rights Campaign.
Human Rights Campaign is awesome.
Oh my gosh, I love their resources.
Yeah.
I've been in like I went to CCAC before I went to Point Park, and I used the Human Rights Campaign whenever I was in their Rainbow Alliance club. And there's just some good resources.
Yeah.
And they're like, they come up with new ones every day.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Human Rights Campaign is a great resource if you don't have maybe a friend or, you know, any other way to get that information about LGBT individuals. Humanrightscampaign.org, I think it's hrc.org. If you want to learn more about LGBT individuals in the community, feel free to use that website. So one question I do want to ask is advocating for yourself. And feel free to answer if you want to add to it. So I know in the workplace or in general, individuals themselves or LGBT individuals as well, people might have trouble advocating for themselves if they are experiencing a time of discrimination, microaggressions, and it can be for anybody, not just LGBT individuals. Have you, either of you, experienced that in the workplace or in general? And if so, if you feel comfortable sharing, and if so, how did you go about that? If you did anything, or if anything, you know.
Yeah, sure. I have a really hard time advocating for myself in the classroom, specifically when I tell my professor my pronouns and they just get it wrong and continue to use it wrong just because they have so many students. But I've been known to just not advocate for myself normally. Like growing up, I had like this long name. And like even Ana, like no one can pronounce my name right.
Yeah.
So I just got used to like not pronouncing my name right. And then I just got used to like letting people like pronounce my pronouns wrong. So it's just like I had to, I don't know, I just had to get the strength to advocate for myself because I didn't do it growing up. So it's getting better. I mean, I do tell my professor my pronouns, and I am starting to get better at reintroducing my name and like repronouncing it so they can actually say it right. But yeah, I think it usually happens like during like the beginning of the semester, and then in the middle I get tired of it, and then there would be a few good moments where I'm like, no, it's Ana. And even if you do sound angry, like you deserve for your name to be actually, you know, pronounced right.
Yes.
That's how I relate, because I have been correcting people my whole life.
Yeah.
I get Natalia and Natalie.
When we first met, I thought it was Natalie.
I correct every single person. I say it's Natalia. And that's just, I'm used to it. I've always I've always corrected my whole life, and
Yeah.
I've never stopped. So I know it is hard to find, because especially I don't have to deal with like correcting people on my pronouns.
Yeah.
So it's different in that way, but I can relate to you with like the name thing, because it happens every day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, I was able, like, for the name thing, I am a twin, and my twin has like the exact same name as me, but the first letter is changed. And I was able to advocate for myself for my own name, but not like this, but like the pronunciation of it or whatever.
yeah,
So
it's hard.
yeah, it is hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I can't relate to the name thing because
Kenny.
it's Kenny. But advocating for myself, I can tell a quick little story. So 2017, I want to say this was. So I'm living out here in Pittsburgh. I am, how old am I? I'm like 26, 25, 26. And I was on a co-ed softball team. So with some friends, some work friends and whatnot. And we were in a championship game we were in the playoffs or something. And we played a team. Things got heated for whatever reason. Whatever reason it was. I don't even know. Competitiveness. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this wasn't directed towards me, but it's just the use of the word. So I'm not going to say the word, but exchanges were being, said back and forth between my team and the opposing team. And out of nowhere, someone called someone from my team the F word. And if you don't know what the F word is, then whatever. But it's aimed towards an insult of LGBT individuals. And it wasn't directed towards me. It was just directed towards someone on my team. They didn't know that someone from the team was gay or whatnot. So I took offense to that because I don't think that word should just be, just used openly like that. Because no one knows who's around, and it's just not a nice word. And so I took offense to it, and I went over and I said, hey, I know things are heated right now. I know we're in a fight. However, as being someone on this team who is gay and whatnot, I do not appreciate that word being flung around or whatever. So if you could, just please use a different word or just don't insult people like that, kind of a thing. So in that moment, I was very proud of myself for advocating for not only me, but my team as well, just in case, anyone else took offense to that, even if they're not part of the LGBTQ community, but they're allies, and they might have been like, wow, they really did use that word. So I was like, you know what? Pat on my back.
Exactly.
Pat on my back.
Advocating for yourself and everyone else.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I'm just think back to that. We beat them, and then we played them in the championship again.
That's why they were mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
They're
beat
mad.
them.
You mad? Stay mad.
You're so mad years later.
If you're listening, just be warned. Kenny is out.
About to.
Is out.
I'm
And
out and proud and out to
Yeah.
get you. Well, I'm trying to think of any other question. This has been a great conversation,
Yes,
and I want to
awesome.
keep going all day. Any other things you would like to mention, Anna?
Oh my gosh. We have a lot of events coming up.
I was going to say, do you
Yeah.
have any events for GSSA?
Oh my gosh.
I was gonna ask you.
I wrote a whole page. I can't talk. So
Written.
written.
Rah, rah, rah.
Yeah. Whatever.
Lady
it is.
Gaga. Rah, rah, rah.
Gay pride right there. Okay.
Monsters. All right. What events do you got going on?
Okay. So the GSSA and Pastor Jennifer, we got a grant to do like these religious healing trauma events. So we're doing like a physical art exhibit, and that's gonna be, let me read my notes. That's gonna be like put out on October 20th and last until November 9th, I believe.
Nice.
And there's 3 pieces right now, and I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
And I barely ever get to show my artistic stuff. So like now I get to show my artistic.
Yay.
Hear that?
abilities.
Better go support Anna.
Yeah, you better go support me and my friends because we really did a good job with this.
And where is this
then-
located?
You know what? I do not. Sadly,
TBD.
Is it
I
on
think
Point
it's-
Sync?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I think it's going to be at Lawrence Hall. It's going to be on Point Sync soon
Yeah,
because
look
we
on
have
Point
like a
Sync.
whole bunch of other.
Check
Okay.
it out.
Yeah.
Point Sync.
But we're going to have the art exhibit. We're also going to have Reiki sessions on November 13th. We're going to
It's
have
my
I
birthday.
know. You're going to have a fun day that day.
I'll have class and all that. Continue.
And then we're going to have a drum circle, and that's on November 9th. And then
Nice.
we're going to have a yoga class for healing, and that's on October 23rd. And we just wanted to host events. There's a lot of religious trauma that happens in the LGBT community. So we just wanted to host events that will allow healing for that trauma
Mm-hmm.
and a variety of healing. So there's like Reiki healing, then there's like drum circles to get your energy out, and then there's a yoga class, and then art real healing.
Art
through
is just healing in
It's
itself.
amazing.
Yeah.
Heck
So,
yeah.
Sounds like a nice healing month
Oh
coming up.
yeah. Oh yeah. And then
But wait, there's more.
there's more. There's more. We are gonna have our Halloween dance, and that's gonna hopefully be October 25th, Wednesday from 7
We have
to
all these
10.
birthdays coming
Yeah.
up.
And there's going to be a costume contest and like a dance and stuff. And then we have there's like a bunch of Pride healing circles that I just wanted to put out there. We're not hosting it, but there's just, if anyone needs any
Like
extra healing.
resources.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
resources and stuff. And what else? What else? Oh, Transgender
About to
Day
say,
of
yeah.
Remembrance. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's happening. I can't remember what day that's happening. November 29th at
Okay.
4 p.m. in the Lawrence hallway, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think. And then the counseling center and the health center are doing like an origami art exhibit.
Like that.
And then,
Cool.
and I just got like the email that we're going to be able to put a vigil in that exhibit. So GSSA will be hosting a vigil inside like that room right there.
Okay.
And we're just going to have like a bunch of roses and candles. And there's going to be like a trifold explaining the event and what the importance of Transgender Day Remembrance is, so we can like reflect and honor those who lost their lives, unfortunately. So yeah.
But that'll be on Point Sync too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hear that?
Cool.
Point Sync.
Point
Everything on Point
Sync.
Sync. Well, Ana, we loved having you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
We appreciate
Thank
you
you.
sharing all of the information, all the events that are happening, and also just being open.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, thanks.
Because I feel
Love
like
that.
open and honest conversation and transparency is how we learn as individuals and how humans kind of interconnect and grow as people.
Oh yeah.
Ana, thank you so much for coming on the Pioneer Careers podcast today. It was amazing to hear more about LGBTQ things that you have to deal with in the workplace and learning about the new pronouns that I didn't know about. Did you know about the pronouns?
No, there's always information about the LGBTQ community. Like I keep saying, I'm part of the community, but it's always changing and evolving. And I think it's important for us to be knowledgeable about some things, including the pronouns, because there's going to be ones that are added, and we should always be aware of that, right?
Exactly.
So, looking forward to our next episode. We are going to be talking about content creation.
That's exciting. I'm excited.
So kind of a
This is gonna
shift
be fun.
from what we talked about this episode. But we're going to talk about content creation because over the pandemic, I think that's when content creation really took off. It was like a rocket because people had nothing to do.
Yeah,
they were
everyone's
stuck
bored,
at home.
stuck at home.
So content creation kind of skyrocketed in terms of streaming, social media, and stuff like that. So let's give some tips, right?
The tips.
How to be better at content creation if you're, kind of interested in that. You're looking to kind of stream as a hobby, or just be more active on social media. You want to be an influencer. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I definitely want to be an influencer one day.
Love.
Well, like not just fully, but it's going to be a part of my job. It's going to be, it
Yeah.
already is a part of it.
Yeah.
Even in college.
Because you're a broadcaster, you want to be an anchor, you're reporting and all that stuff. Mm.
Tons of it.
So
It
I
all
think before
connects.
getting into the tips, or before getting into the tips, maybe talk about what content creation is as defined by this article, which is given to us by rockcontent.com.
Love Rocket content.
blog. So, what is content creation? As Rock Content says, content creation is the process of developing various forms of media, such as articles, videos, or images, with the purpose of conveying your ideas, information, and perspective to a specific audience. It is Friday. Thank you for working with me through that. So, yeah, that's content creation. And they kind of give some, best practices, some examples of content creation and how to manage your content creation efficiently. Are we ready to dive in?
Yes.
Let's give some tips to our listeners.
Yep.
All right. So 5 or some best practices of content creation strategy. So we already talked about this with our lovely producer, Nick. Set your goals for content creation. So as with anything else in life, it's hard to measure success unless you know what you're shooting for in the first place. That's why it's important to understand exactly what it is you want your content to do. It's basically What direction are you going?
You have to have a vision. You have to have the goals, or there's nothing there. It all starts with your vision.
Have the vision, see the vision. Check out the competition wherever you're going to do content creation, whatever platform you choose, which I'm going to be talking about a little bit later. Check it out, So they say, we get it. One of the hardest things about setting content creation goals can be drawing a line between overly optimistic and ambitious goals. So a great way to keep things realistic is to start by benchmarking your competitors. Take a look. If you want to do content creation on Instagram, Facebook, or if you want to stream on Twitch, what's another stream? YouTube, and a new platform coming out that is kind of up and rising is Kick. Just check out your competition, right?
I agree with that, but at the same time, if you don't want to go too much into that with looking at other people's content and like comparing your content to theirs, because I think it's good to see kind of what's out there and what you need to do to kind of get to where other people like obviously are, so you can get there, but you still need to have your own, your own stuff and your own vision and make sure that you are confident in what you're doing.
Yeah,
I think there's a good balance with that though. Like that just comes with like having a balance between all of it.
Yeah, you just don't want to compare yourself to others and then kind of like do what they're doing. Just check it out.
Exactly. Check it out. But don't go too deep into it if you're like analyzing your content and their content.
Yeah. As a little tidbit for me, as a hobby, I stream on Twitch and I just do it for fun, little funsies, because as another hobby, I moderate a streaming channel who streams Fortnite, Call of Duty, whatever you want to call it. And that's kind of what got me into it back in like 2018. And I just do it as a hobby, stream on Twitch. But I agree. Just look out, just see what's going on. See what's going on.
See what's going on.
See what's going on. Don't copy anybody, but
have your own style, because that's what's going to get you to where you want to go.
Amen. So I know I said 5 earlier, but we'll just keep it to 2 so we can go into our different topics that we want to talk about. So I mentioned about some examples of social media platforms where, content can be created. And they kind of give the top ones, but there might be other ones that you're interested in. So there's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, maybe different blogs, different streaming platforms that I mentioned, Twitch, YouTube. Facebook used to have a streaming platform, and Kick as well. What do you think about those kind of streaming platforms? Which ones would you prefer to kind of?
I would say Instagram and TikTok are the top 2 for me. Facebook is kind of just an app that I post for my family to see, and I don't really go on there that much. But I would say TikTok and Instagram are the top 2 apps for me. And then obviously, like, I feel like YouTube is its own like separate world, because that just takes so much. It just takes a lot. Like YouTube creation is just, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot more that goes into YouTube creation because they're like, I don't know. What do you think?
YouTube's very versatile, I've found. Like you can stream on YouTube. You can create short form content as well, like reels and stuff like that. So YouTube is very versatile in that aspect, and it can be a wide range of audience. TikTok is going to be towards your younger kind of population. Same as Instagram. Yeah. Instagram might be that middle ground a little bit, because you have the younger generation kind of using Instagram, but then you also have, I don't say older because I feel like I'm part of the older generation that's using Instagram, but you have that healthy kind of balance. And then Facebook, as you mentioned, you want to kind of post just for your family. Yeah. And we've kind of found that as well in our department in the Career Readiness Center. A lot of alumni, a lot of parents kind of keep up to date with what the university is doing through Facebook.
Yep. That's exactly where they're at. Yeah. And as a social media manager for like the business school, and I'm social media coordinator for UView, I definitely like for UView, we really only post on the Instagram and Facebook, just because like Facebook, exactly, it's for alumni, it's for people that already like are past that college phase and that they want to come back and see what the school's currently doing. Yeah. But I love Instagram. I'm such an Instagram user. I am too. I just like love it. I don't know. I love posting my stories. I love posting my pictures, and I want to do way more posting. Like I want to start posting reels and all of that, and just kind of putting myself out there more.
Yeah, I love posting on my personal Instagram, just like some quotes that I find are useful. And yeah, I might post it for other people to see, maybe if they want some uplifting message. But also I post it for myself, where, I might be having a bad day. So then I go back and read it and I was like, oh yeah, you got this, kid.
Exactly. I also vlog too. Like I'm a private vlogger. I don't really post my vlogs, but I've been vlogging since I was like 14.
Heck yeah.
I love vlogging.
I've never got into vlogging, but
I just naturally do it. It's just a part of my everyday. I'll just, update I guess future me on what I'm going through and what I need to do.
So we're going to switch topics. Well, we're going to stay on content creation, but we're going to kind of end with how to manage content creation efficiently. And they give like 4 little tidbits. So the first one is have a content schedule. There's no right amount of content to publish to your audience. For some businesses, publishing one piece a week is enough to engage with customers and general sales. But other brands may need to publish daily to ensure better growth and marketing momentum. So basically, just find your footing. Find what works best for your viewers, your listeners, if you have subscribers, your audience. Find what works best for them.
I will say consistency is like the number one thing
Yeah.
when it comes to growing a brand, growing your, personal image, whatever you want to grow. Influencers, like that consistency of posting is so crucial to getting consistent followers and likes and comments and views.
And kind of going off of that, monitor the trends. Like what's going on in the world, what's going on a platform that you're posting on. Just monitor the trends.
Yes.
And they kind of say evergreen content is always ideal because you can publish and republish it in the future for maximum exposure and engagement. However, you should also be capitalizing on current events and trends to boost your content marketing from time to time.
I agree. Trends are very important as well.
And going off the trends, analyze the results. You want to analyze the results, monitor the trends, see what's going on. Market analysis is the best way to determine what is working and what isn't. Content creation can take a lot of time and energy, so you want to ensure you get the best return. I think that's pretty self-explanatory, right?
Yes, it is.
Last but not least, focus on quality, not quantity. So finally, getting your content noticed by the masses can seem virtually impossible. With so much competition from other companies and individual creators, it's easy for your pieces to get lost in the vortex. So instead, it's best to focus your energy on creating the best content possible. If you can do that quickly and consistently, great.
Yes.
If it takes time to produce a high quality piece, don't rush it. So
I'm 100% for this one. I'm a maximizer. That's my
Yes.
number one strength. And I 100% agree. Yep.
anything else about that?
No, you said it.
I think did we just complete episode 5?
Did we just completed episode 5?
just
How's
finish
it
it?
already episode 5?
I
God.
know, but I'm so excited. This has been a journey. It's October. If you have anything that you want to contribute to the show, the Pioneer Careers Podcast, feel free to email us at careerdev@pointpark.edu. That is CAREERDEV at pointpark.edu. We are recording from the Center for Media Innovation at Point Park University. Where can you find us? You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Are we done? Is that it?
We're done. Go check them out. You got to go check our episodes out.
And check out the events that are happening for GSSA, for Trans Day of Remembrance, and all the ones coming up, because they have a lot of great events coming up.
Yes,
So,
they do.
are we ready? So
We're ready.
Until next time.
Until next time, we will see you next time.
Woo, 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 woo. Bye.